What is up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Trucking and Transportation, sitting out here at this pilot in Butte, Montana. And let me tell you, it is cold out here. I have a pickup in Sugar City, Idaho, I think is the name of it, at 1600, and it is now 0900. Called them to see if I could get in there early. They said they probably won't be able to get me loaded any earlier, but I could get out there whenever I wanted. I'm worried about my 14-hour clock, so I'm probably going to leave in maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. Don't want to start my clock too early. But let me tell you, the deadhead on this, like 350 miles, and listen, with the empty trailer going through all this wind, and then once the sun went down a little bit, you start getting a little of that ice going through these mountains. Listen, I could not get to this truck stop fast enough last night. So, looking to do a little solar power trucking today. But, I was sitting around earlier, eating my muffin and drinking my coffee, and I had what alcoholics refer to as a moment of clarity. There was a comment a while back that somebody had left, and they were asking me how I choose my loads or what loads are good, and I forget exactly how it was worded, but basically, what do I think a good load is and what loads do I turn down? Now, I'm a little bit different than everybody else. I don't just look at the numbers when I'm turning loads down. So kind of let's go through my thought process. Now, remember, I'm a rookie driver. I'm just telling you what works for me. So when a load first comes over, the first thing I do is just take a look and see, can I run the load? Do I got the hours? All that kind of stuff. You know what? If I'm a little low on hours, and if the load is paying well, what I will do is communicate. I'll communicate with my fleet manager. Listen, I like the load, but here's my problem right here. Fleet manager could come back and say, you know what? We'll open up the times, we'll change the appointment times, whatever. Or he might say, grab the load, run it as far as you can, and I'll find somebody to repower it for you. So those are some things, rather than just turning it down or saying, I just don't have enough hours, I communicate, let him know what the issues are, and let him come up with a plan. Maybe he takes the load off me, maybe I keep the load. I'm not sure, but that's up to him. So once I find out I got the hours to run the load, then I'm going to start taking a look at maybe not in this order. I'm going to just take a look at the money. Now, I rarely turn down a load because of money. I think the only load I've turned down because of money was when I was teaming and they wanted me to go from Georgia to California, and it was paying like $1.10 a mile. Now, I wasn't a trainer. I just had somebody on the truck, so I was actually paying him, pretty well. So once I factored in his pay, fuel costs, stuff like that, I think the net to me after all that was going to be less than 50 cents a mile, and that just didn't make sense. So I turned that load down on money. If I get a load that isn't paying well and it's putting me in a better area, I don't even worry about the money because it's getting me somewhere that I want or that I want to be, or it's getting me out of somewhere that I don't want to be. If I'm in New Jersey, and I'm not talking about the pretty part of New Jersey, I'm talking about, down by Newark and New York City, all that kind of stuff, man, I would damn near almost pay to get out of there. So I don't even look at the money at all. If I'm in New Jersey, Boston, any of those areas like that, whatever load I get leaving there, I'm a jump on. So, like I said, it's not always about money. I have turned down loads because of where the load is going. And let's get back on the money thing. If they're giving me a load and it's really not paying that well and I really don't like the load, I will generally almost always take the load, but I will tell my fleet manager, I'm really not excited. I'm really not too excited about this load. Next time, can you find me something a little more satisfying? And then he'll usually laugh and say, I'll take care of you, whatever. And the last time I actually worded it like that is when I got that, I think it was 38 miles for almost $700 or something like that. So, I first of all, I never speak out of place to my fleet manager, and secondly, I just throw little things out like that out there. So that's kind of the money situation. Like I said, I don't really turn things down over money. I will turn down things going to certain shippers and receivers. I think I'm done with that Chelsea market in Boston. You know what? To me, that is like some mafia shit they got going on down there. So we're bringing you guys your shit, but as soon as I get unloaded, you're kicking me out of there. It's almost like a one-night stand. So, and the problem is, if you don't have anywhere to go out there, you could waste a bunch of money on tolls just trying to find somewhere to park and post up. So Chelsea Market might be a place that I may not go to again. There's a place in Maryland called MDC Landover. I may not go there again. Definitely there's another place, I forget where it's at, but I will remember the name when it pops up. That's where they had me sitting out there for over 24 hours and had me back into a dock while everybody went home. I won't go back there. There's certain locations I won't go to. I really don't have any intentions on going, across to, ironic enough, I'm out here in Montana and Idaho, but really don't plan on messing with this, Western 11 all that much during the winter time. I'll probably turn down loads that are kind of going that direction. I'll turn down, once you get past one pickup and two drop-offs, or two pickups and one drop-off, once you get to that fourth one, that's when I really start thinking about turning it down. So really not about money as far as that's concerned either. To me, all this stuff does kind of balance out. So like I said, it's never been money issues as to why I turn most of these loads down. Like I said, it's only been that one particular time. Loads I like are loads that are going to keep me in certain areas. I like, I just like that whole, I'm actually beginning to love Pennsylvania. But, that whole Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, all that kind of down is kind of where I really like to operate. So pretty much if there's any load that's going in those areas, regardless of the price, unless it's too ridiculous, I'm going to take it. What do I think are good loads? A lot of people don't like Walmart loads. I love Walmart loads, love Sam's Club loads. One reason I like them is they generally aren't going to be some crazy docking situation where you need to do backing gymnastics to get into it. You're not backing in off a street. You're not blindsiding into some space or something like that. And if detention is needing to get paid, it's automatic. You're not fighting for detention or questioning it. It's usually showing up as soon as you leave on your, in your figure. So I like Walmart's. I'll be honest with you, I pretty much have trusted the process. I've only turned down a handful of loads since I've been here, and like I said, the one was because of money. I've done a couple because of where they were sending me, like New Jersey. I think I turned, that's right. Specifically, I turned down a 10 drop load coming out of Florida. It wasn't a flower load, it was a plant load going to these different lows, and 10 drop-offs just a little bit too, I couldn't even keep that organized. So I turned that down and ended up taking a load that paid about $1 a mile, and was happy just to get out of Florida. I turned down, what was another load I turned down? I turned down like a 8 drop load that was, I think it was milk or something like that. I was somewhere in Ohio. It was going to be like another 8-drop load. Turned that down. Last New Year's, over the New Year's, I was sitting at Pittston. Think I need to get something done to my truck real quick, or I dropped in that area. And one of those fleet managers out there tried to trick me into a load. Was like, hey, are you available? It's like, yeah, what's up? Can you drop off this load in Bergen, New Jersey? Or I think it was Bergen, New Jersey. So I was like, you know what? I'm a team player. I don't really like messing with New Jersey, but I got it. So once the load started coming through, you start getting these emails, and that email kind of started going off too many times. So I look at the load, and it was like a drop in Bergen, New Jersey at 06, in the morning one day, and then another drop in Queens, New York, 6 a.m. the next day. So I told him, you might want to take me off that load. So I turned that down, and that wasn't even my normal fleet manager on that one, so I didn't have any feelings of guilt over that one at all. I'm trying to think what else I've turned down. I really haven't turned anything down. A good load to me is, it can't just be about the cents per mile. A lot of people look at this stuff and it's like, how many cents per mile does it pay? Listen, I've already gone over this in videos before, but if a load is paying $4 a mile and it's taking you a whole bunch of days to do the load, that's really may not be the best load. Whereas a load that's paying low cents per mile, but it's taking you a couple days to run, and maybe it's $1,000, 1,200, 1,200 miles, or excuse me, $1,200 load. That's not a bad load. So again, I know I'm rambling. Boy, I'd love to ramble. I don't really turn down that many loads. I think it's served me well to kind of trust the process, but like I said, I'm not afraid to turn down a load if it's not a load that I want. And generally, if the times that I have turned down a load, because I've turned down more loads than those, I just don't remember what they are, or I've requested. Well, I've turned down a load, then my fleet manager's kind of talked me into it. He's always said, I'll handle you on the next one, and he's always handled me on the next one. So that's kind of the way it is. Anyway, I guess that's about all I had to talk about. Just got done blowing out this trailer. Listen, I know I'm all about being frugal and not spending money, but let me tell you, that leaf blower, I don't know what I was thinking sweeping out the back of this damn truck. Get yourself a leaf blower. That has possibly been the single best investment I bought for this truck. Anyway, I'm going to quit rambling. I want to thank you guys for stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. I appreciate it. I have been getting through these comments lately. There's a lot I need to catch up on, but I have worked my way through a lot of those today, and I will continue to work my way through them right when I'm done with this video. So I appreciate you guys having patience with me, and I'm out.